Hey teacher friends, ever had a class whose voice levels were all over the place? Loud when they're trying to do independent work, but whispering when they're presenting a paper or some fun project? You're not alone. And explicitly teaching voice levels can help, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So you might be asking yourself, what are voice levels? So basically, voice levels are just talking about what level our voice is. Obviously, when we're outside, our voice is a lot louder than when we're in a library, right? Then you're whispering. That's a different voice level. And students need to explicitly be taught that. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, okay, Heather, how do I teach voice levels? And so the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is that you want to maybe start with a read aloud. My favorite is Decibella and her 6-inch voice. And basically it goes over different voice levels. Her teacher does a great job. At first, this little girl, she's just talking with her outside voice all the time. She's so loud, and her teacher does a great job of teaching her about the different voice levels and then having her practice. And that's the exact same thing that I want you to do with your students. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go over your voice levels that you're using in your classroom. This is an example of what I use in my classroom. They do not match the book because I like to kind of do things the way that I want to do them, and that's what I suggest for you too. If the book matches how you want to teach it, then that's perfect, and that's what you should do. Or find something that works best for you. So basically, you are going to use these visuals to help teach your students about the different voice levels. And so I'm going to run through them really quick. Ones that I like to use is 3, a presenter voice. That's the voice I would say that I'm using now. I'm the teacher. I'm using my teacher voice. This is the voice that you want everyone to be able to hear you, even in the back of the room, is your presenter voice, your teacher voice. Go down to table talk, where only your table can hear you. This is like for group work, or if you're with a group of friends, it's like more of your normal voice. And then we have a 1, which is a whisper. One friend can hear you. This is for when we're doing partner work, or we're just working together with 2 people, or maybe I need something out in the hall, I'm in the library, I'm using my whisper voice. And then a 0, no talking. Now, I would say that I personally reserve this. Most of the time, my kids are going to be on a 1, even when they're working, because they might need to ask a question of a friend or something like that. So I really reserve like a 0 for really, really important times. Maybe we're doing an assessment or we're testing or something and we really need a 0. I really reserve that. The next thing you want to do is right after you've taught your students all about the voice levels is that you want to practice them. And you don't want to just practice them. You want to make it fun, because the thing is that when you make things fun, that you engage your students and they want to actually do it. So what's more fun to say like, okay, we're going to practice these until you guys get them right, because I need you to know what a voice level 1 is, because we need to be having a voice level 1 when I'm doing reading groups. Or to say, okay guys, we're going to see how good we can get at having the right voice level. And so the first game you play is that you give them like a word or a phrase to say, like, okay, everybody's going to say their favorite color and they're going to say it in a whisper. And I want only one friend to be able to hear you. And then we're going to see if at the table, you're going to make sure that your friend can hear you, but that you don't want your rest of your table to hear you. And so you just play it up like a game. Who can be the best whisperer? And then who can have the best table talk? So maybe you give them like, okay, you're going to come up with a secret team name, but you don't want the other tables around you to hear because you don't want them to know your secret team name. But everybody in your group needs to be able to hear. And so that's where you're going to practice that voice level and see who can win. And then presenter, that might be a little nerve-wracking, especially for your quieter kids. So maybe they just want to present something like their name, and each person takes turns saying like their name and their favorite food. And you can take a second to think about it. Okay, what's your favorite food? Plan what you're going to say. And then they can maybe raise their hand so that they can say when they're ready to go. Or you can go like in a circle. And you just want to say, okay, we're just going to try it and just see like if everyone in the room can hear. And I'm going to give you a thumbs up if I can hear you. And then maybe this if you're like, oh, I'm not sure. And help them get their voices turned up, because you are going to have some kids that are going to need practice with that. And they need the chance to practice. And then the next way you're going to gamify it is that you're going to pretend to go to places, and then you're going to pick what voice level. Okay, we just walked into the library. What voice level are we going to have in here? Okay, show me, pretend like we're in the library. Okay, now we're outside. Oh my gosh, what voice level are we having? And just, so you played those 2 games, and that's going to get your students comfortable, and that's going to get your students practicing. And then bonus tip for you is to practice. You're going to need to practice this every day for about 6 weeks at least. And then maybe you take it down to just Mondays, and then just when they're needing a refresher, because they're going to need a refresher. But by only teaching it once and playing the game once, that's not enough. Your kids need to practice often to really make it part of like them remembering and make it automatic for them. Now, we talked a lot about how to gamify this strategy after you've taught it. And if you would like another video on ways to gamify your classroom management, be sure to check out this video here. And I will see you guys next time.